So today's episode is going to talk about friendships, how to deal with friendships. Something happens when you are in your 30s and friendships, it becomes work. And I don't know how to handle this. If you have figured out friendships in your 30s, please hit the DMs and let your girl know, because I struggle with friendships. Today's episode, I'm just going to be sharing some things that I've come to realize about friendships. Guys, this girl does not know I'm a superstar on YouTube. Just disturbing me. Yes. Oh my goodness. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Busi and this is Conversations with Busi. Today's episode is very challenging. In your 20s. So today's episode is going to talk about friendships, how to deal with friendships. When you are young, when you're in primary school, you have a lot of friends. In high school, you have friends, and then you go to varsity, you meet new people, you start having friends, you start working, and then you hit your 30s. Something happens when you are in your 30s and friendships, it becomes work. And the minute it becomes work, it's like, I don't know how to handle this. I really don't know how our parents handled, having kids, having a husband, being full-time, doing stuff at church, giving back, doing all of this, and attending funerals and being present at the funeral and cooking at the funeral. Like, it's just so much. And one area of my life that I realize now that is really taking a hit is friendships. So today's episode, it is about friendships and how I'm navigating friendships. If you have figured out friendships in your 30s, please hit the DMs and let your girl know, because I struggle with friendships. The time that you need to make sure that you can be a good friend is quite tricky. If I'm being honest, I really miss those days when, friendships, you would just randomly call your friend and you'd have a conversation for an hour. Now it's like, guys, you must send me a pretext before you video call me so that I know what you want to talk about. It's a lot that is going on. It is a lot. And some friends you get to see after a very long time, and it's just so much. So today's episode, I'm just going to be sharing some things that I've come to realize about friendships. And for me to have friends, I really need to be intentional. Guys, I am trying to revive my YouTube, and my daughter is at the door. I hope she doesn't come back. Oh my Lord. There's this series that I used to watch. I can't remember the name of the show now. I will put it at the bottom as soon as I search for it. But I used to just admire how it was a group of friends that were always there for each other. If a child is graduating, if someone's giving birth, wedding, funerals, whatever. And I was like, oh my Lord, you know what? I want to have those type of friendships. But oh my goodness, friendships require a lot of work and a lot of effort. But today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the things that I've come to realize about friendships in the 30s. Okay, one is that friendships are not about numbers. It is no longer about how many friends. Do you have a group of friends that are 100, or do you have one friend? It is really about the amount of depth that you have with certain people. I have certain friends in my life that I don't see a lot, I don't talk to a lot, but on the day that we get to see each other, it's like we catch up about every single thing. Also, when we have serious things that are going on, like I'm going through a mental breakdown, we drop everything and we will go and be there for each other. And so I think instead of feeling so bad about myself to say, you don't have a group of friends, kanjani, like, oh my God, it is just for me to understand that our friendships are different, and it is okay. So if you have had a group of friends and you feel like, I don't understand where I am, I don't know how to navigate this phase of my life, it is okay not to have a big group of friends. It is okay. And it just changes as long as you have people in your life that will be there for you. My darling, are you going to close the door today? Okay. What are you? What are you wait? Why are you not closing the door, my friend? Are you planning to stay? Okay, but you must not be loud, okay? You look so pretty today. You want to sit? Yeah. Okay, come sit this side. But don't come on my camera, okay? Alright, now the second thing that I've come to realize in terms of friendship is that friendships fade. You know, sometimes, you, especially people with social media, you see them posting their friends and then suddenly they stop posting them and you're like, ooh, beef. You know, sometimes it's okay that you lose friendships, not necessarily because you have beef with them, it's because of where you are in your life, and it is okay. Sometimes, depending on the direction that your life takes, it's not everyone that will be there for you in that space, or you being available to be there for them in that space, and that is okay. You know, you go through different parts in your life. For instance, imagine you are friends with somebody and you like to party, and then next thing you find Jesus. What's going to happen to your friendship? It's going to be hard, because it's either she will pull you back into the clubs or you pull her into going to church. And if you both struggle not to be able to do that, what's going to happen? You will not be able to get your friendship working again. And so if you have had any friendships fading in your life recently, it is okay. It happens. And some friendships is really just training wheels for you to understand how to navigate through life. And it's okay, man. And whoever remains in your life remains. Sorry? You want your book? Guys, this girl does not know I'm a superstar on YouTube. Just disturbing me, yes. Oh my goodness. Sit there and draw, okay?
I'm busy.
Tell me about it. So another thing that I've come to realize in terms of friendships in your 30s is that you need to be intentional about being friends. Let me tell you, the other day I was just thinking about I was thinking about forgiveness and how easy it is for especially women to forgive guys. A guy will treat you badly, you will forgive him, you will tell your friends that you will never see him again, and then secretly there you are looking at the text from the guy and doing all of that. But how often do we forgive each other in terms of friends? It is not something that is usual. For what happens is that we just think if somebody hurts you as a friend, oh, they're toxic, you cut them off. But friendship in your 30s, you realize you need to be intentional. If you do not take the time to work things out, it will not be okay. Your friendship will just fade and it will seem like it's just not intentional. But we need to put in effort the same way that we put in effort to any other relationship. Friendships require the same type of intentionality. And so if you have some friends that you haven't seen in a while, call them up, man. And I'm not preaching to somebody, this is me telling myself as well that I need to improve. There's some friends that I haven't called in a while because life has just been lifing, and without intentionality, then those friendships tend to fade. And it's not every friendship that requires you to work on it, but the ones that do, we need to be working on. The thing that I've come into realization about friendships is that sometimes friendships can happen peacefully at a distance. I've had a friend of mine whom I've had for, I don't know, as long as I've been alive. And there's phases of where we are, don't see her for a month, 2 months, or whatever. But one thing that I've realized in terms of that friendship is that love does not expire. Being away from each other and living life separately does not mean that we've changed the way that we feel about each other. And sometimes that is okay. You cannot expect that your friends, because when you were younger you were able to see each other every day, you're posting pictures, oh my goodness, and then now it's like, oh Mara, she doesn't tag me, she doesn't post about me. It's okay. Love does not expire, and just because you're not able to talk to them every single day does not mean that your friendship is not okay. And sometimes your friendship evolves, it evolves into something different, and now we are there for each other in a different way, and that is okay? So yeah, depending on where you are in terms of your friendship in your 30s, or maybe you are younger and you feel like you're going through this phase already where you feel like maybe your friends are changing, or the type of way that people are showing up for you is not the same. It's okay. We need to be intentional about the friendships that we have. We need to be there for each other, take care of ourselves. And I think the one takeaway that I would like you to have is that let us take care of our friends the same way we take care of other relationships. Where we in terms of marriage, we take care of our marriages by going to therapy, doing all of these things, but we don't take the same amount of effort to take care of our friends. And you know what, we need friends. At the end of the day, you cannot do life without having friendships. And so if you have separated with one of your friends very long time ago, reach out to them. Call your friends today, check on them, see how they are, see how they're doing, and don't be easily offended by your friends. I think sometimes we get easily offended because we have expectations to say, I expect this friendship to give me this and this and that. And if that person doesn't give you that, then you feel like the friendship is not working out the way that you want. And we just need to give each other space as friends, give each other that opening, and be understanding that people are going through a lot and we all need friends. And if you have somebody you haven't reached out to in a very long time, please call them, please text them, and mend your friendships, man. Mend your friendship. We need friends. We definitely need friends. If you have figured out friendships in your 30s, please hit the DMs and let your girl know, because I struggle with friendships.